Welcome to Dance Party 247 podcast. I'm DJ Wongy. You also have the DJ Envy and the DJ T. Today, we have a couple of topical subjects. We have the green screen, which Envy has just recently purchased. And we're also going to talk about the closures of venues, clubs, and certain places because of government's pulled the funding. Okay, so over to you, DJ Envy.
So thank you, Mr. Wongy. As DJ Wongy said, yes, I've purchased a green screen today, well, yesterday, and it's brilliant. Absolutely love it. You can have like different backgrounds, you can have videos running over it. There's all sorts you can do. I think it's brilliant.
Okay, so can you just explain what a green screen is to people?
It's green.
It goes across your screen.
It's green.
Okay. Like, what is it and what it does? What does it do?
Okay, Mr. Wongy. For the people who don't know what a green screen is, which is like when I said to DJ Wongy the other day, I've got a green screen, and he's not the only one actually who weren't quite sure what it was. I spoke to another DJ this evening, DJ T. You know who I spoke to, and I said to this particular DJ, "Oh, I've got a green screen now." He went, "What's that?"
It's probably some of your computer, like a blue screen.
And you know when you kind of want to laugh, but you don't. Yes. Anyway, so moving on. Basically, it's a green. It's a green box background.
Green screen.
It is a green screen, and a green screen is basically a green backdrop. And on top of that, you can put images, videos, text. You can do all sorts of things with it. So basically what happens is the green screen goes up behind you. You can use a blue screen as well, just for the people who don't know, Mr. Wongy. And you can put images, text, videos, light displays. You can put all sorts up there, but you have to have the right software. So the software we use is StreamYard, and it's already built in. And me and DJ T were messing around with it. Was it today?
This evening.
It was
yesterday.
Yeah, this evening.
This evening, yeah.
And one of the biggest problems we found, because my studio is not quite finished or started, so I've got a makeshift. Is lighting. Lighting is a big problem. It's got to be well lit because otherwise it just doesn't work. It's all grainy, and it looked like I was smoking off the top of my head, didn't it? If you remember right,
steaming.
It looked like my head was on fire.
Like a chimney.
It actually looked quite funny.
There's been a few times it looked like that.
Yeah, it did look a bit weird. But do you know what? I think they're brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. If you've got the space for it, I would definitely have one. What do you think, Wongy?
Absolutely. It's worth giving it a go, isn't it?
Is that it?
Well, yeah. What do you want? Yeah, he's saying, yeah, you think it's brilliant. So what do I think? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think most people. So, I mean, it's more so for like bedroom DJs. You know, with people like when you got the camera facing them and you can see everything behind, i.e., like their bed or their wardrobes and stuff. Yeah, if they hung that behind.
Oh, was that a little bit of a dig there?
No, I was just saying in general.
Oh, right, okay. I was just wondering. That's all.
I mean, you can buy them with a stand, so you don't have to actually put them. In your case, you put yours against the wall. You can have it so it fits in behind you, and then you can move it out the way. So it doesn't have to be a permanent fixture. It's just enough to cover the screen to give you a virtual background. That's what it does, isn't it?
I mean,
moving and stationary.
We were messing around with the Matrix background, a Halloween background today, and we was also messing around with like a beach with like cliffs behind, wasn't we? And we found the darker the background, the better it actually worked.
Because the lighting,
I don't know.
Wasn't it? If it was well lit, it wouldn't make no difference. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Sorry?
Does it work on black?
Does what work on black?
The back screen. Because you say darker.
No. So basically, they use green or blue because green or blue are a way for to isolate the colours of what you're trying to display on there.
Right.
Because like, other colours just doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, blue yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But definitely, I mean, I'll be using it on my show this week. I'm the only one on the station that has one, as it stands.
At the moment.
And, well, you say that at the moment. I think, T, you'll be the next one, won't you? Because this is something that we've spoke about on and off for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, we played with the settings on StreamYard a little while back ago, in my little boiler room, and we realised obviously sort of it could be done. I have to paint the rest of the house before I get to paint mine because my little
I heard
boiler
that
room
earlier.
and I'm not joking. It's because
Excuse me.
I could go the green screen, but the green screen I have to cut it to make the shape because I mean it's such a small space. And he's got like a blank straight wall. Mine has the door behind, and you can see the walls. But when you get that all done, it will just look like one complete blank screen. So it'll look like it's like yours. But to get that, the easiest way for me to do it is to do it with the correct color green. So I've priced the tin up and everything.
You have to use special paint though. You can't just use normal green paint. You have to use green screen paint.
You have.
Really?
Yeah, have you seen it?
That should be
a particular type of paint. Because when I was looking for the green screen, it come up with paint, and I thought the wife ain't going to let me do that in here. Once I get the studio, then things might be different. I can't just paint a wall in the house and temporarily just because I feel like. Listen, any DJ who's married will tell you it will not happen. You can't paint. You can't commandeer 1/3 of a living room and turn it into a mini studio, which is what I've done. Yeah, it doesn't sit well with a wife.
Well, that's why your missus wants to repaint the brand new that's only like 3 months old, redecorated front room anyway, and you're getting chucked out in a couple of months to your studio that you got to build. So
it's all going to be green in there. I'll probably have everything green. It'll be easier, wouldn't it? And then I can have basically because TC, like the length of it, I can have the effects coming all around the side of the room as well. It's long enough, it's just not quite wide enough. So that's going to be an issue. So I'll probably have it all green, and then you'll be able to see the green screen all the way back down the sides as well. So it should look quite good in there. Okay. Mr. Wongy will be coming round to help me build it actually. So DJ Wongy is going to be getting a green screen next, once I order it apparently, because he can't work Amazon. He struggles with things like that.
Apparently, he's able to work anything.
So I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that for him. So watch this space, guys. Will we put links below for links to the green screen eyeball?
So anyway, so apparently, the government are going to pull the funding or subsidies towards like the clubs and the higher end bars and things for So it seems like there's going to be closures on quite a lot of places across the country. Really, what's your view on it?
Shit.
Oh God. Okay, so we've established that. Well, moving on. Next topic.
There's going to be nowhere to play though, is there? I mean, if some of these clubs, I believe it comes down to the fact they're not getting the funds and
the subsidies.
There's a couple of things to do with that affects sort of the industry that we're in. Is that our good chancellor has said you need to retrain, because if you can't get a job back in that industry, then you need to get a job elsewhere. So if there's no clubs to go back into, then because obviously they've got to pay their rent. If they don't own their own building, which majority of them don't, they rent it. They're not going to pay their landlord.
Yeah.
If they're not getting the funding for it, then they're going to have deep pockets. I suppose the other thing is as well is when they do get back open again, I would think there'd be a great opportunity for those clubs and those that have late licenses that have really struggled. And if we do get back to some sort of level of normality,
But
they're not going to be able to afford the higher DJs and the big end high ticket acts. But on a serious note, I think there's opportunity for up and coming or some new DJs to step into the shoes of those that have been more established, like a resident. If a resident is on a decent amount of money, and that resident can actually bring the number of people back in again, can they afford to pay that resident the way they were before, or bring a headline act in? So they're going to have to look for other people that will come in and establish themselves, and probably maybe a little underpriced initially. I don't know. But somebody's got to come in, and you can get a good quality DJ for less than obviously big bucks, and then that person obviously is going to build that brand for that club and build a night, and then they will get paid what they're worth more. I think there's a great opportunity for people to step in the mark. Those that have been there probably got a little bit complacent, perhaps, would jump in and make a good impression to work hard for building a brand and work with the club rather than thinking, well, I expect to go back to that club again because I was a resident there before, or was a headline act, went there regularly.
We don't really know what's going to happen yet, though, do we? This is the problem. I mean, we're sitting here, we're saying all this, but in real life, I mean, we might not have half the clubs we had before. So that means half the DJs potentially are going to be out of work.
Yeah.
Or you got twice as many DJs going for half as many jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So half the DJs that were playing out, and then what about the DJs want to play out who weren't playing out before? Really, it's going to be harder, I think, to actually get a gig.
Yeah.
Because you're competing in with less venues. Yeah. It's going to be chaos, mate.
Without having like establishment on your like resume, it's going to be hard to get somewhere that's sort of up and coming or is booming at the time. Like if you've got a DJ that's got experience, they can say, well, I have a resident here, resident there. Of course, they will automatically walk to the front, in front of all like other people. But if you do get on, like, and you do put the work in and the time, to get yourself like known on these other places, there's every opportunity you can get that spot.
Yeah, I'm saying this has been a good day for us. Absolutely sweet FA. Actually, to be fair, that's the same every Friday. Envy likes to have his Tuesdays off. I end up doing the podcast on Tuesdays. However, Fridays, I deliberately do nothing.
Why?
Because Fridays is the day I download all my music. So that's all I've done all day. I mean, I need to pick up some ashes for the dog, for my sister-in-law, and then I've just basically been downloading music. And I am editing a edit as we just for a podcast. Because there's a track I want to play, and it basically starts with a vocal. And I'm like, I'm not having that. So I'll put an intro and put a beat underneath it. So I've done a DJT exclusive mix. So I've been the DJ today. That's what I've done. That's what I've done today. Is being the DJ.
You've pulled a wongy. You pulled a wongy.
Yeah, but I do that. I do that on Fridays because I do that on Fridays because of Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
If I do two shows a week, then I'm gonna have to do one basically more subpar and the other one as I want it, which means I have to.
If it makes you feel any better, preparation. I haven't actually put a set together this week yet.
No, but in reality, doesn't it? If you're downloading tunes to put a set together as a DJ, this can keep with the podcast. Well, we'll edit this bit out. But if you're putting a set together, it takes longer to put the set together than actually to do the set.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I mean, I put a set together
Have you
last
get
week.
new music?
I thought you were going to talk.
Oh, I was, and I always set my mark, and I stopped. And then you would normally jump straight in, but you haven't tonight.
I didn't.
I'll put my hands up. I haven't actually put a set together in years.
It's because you're lazy.
No, it's just because I haven't put one together.
Well, I haven't done one this
have.
week, but
You have. Many a time you said, like, I need to go now because I need to get my tune sorted.
Yeah. That's just like load it up on the Prime, yeah. Because I have to do each.
No.
That was when you were
Before
doing. That was when you were doing vinyl. That's when you were doing vinyl. You said I need to get my tune together.
Oh yeah. All right. So what I'm doing is grabbing a vast amount of certain vinyls to give me like
that's
40,
called putting
40 vinyls, 46 vinyls. But I haven't played it and I haven't preset nothing.
No, that's called putting a set together. That's not having played a set. That is part of the process of putting a set together.
All right, fair enough. All right. So I haven't put a set together in.
Okay. If you're talking like that, then the set that. I'll give you an example of what I've done. I've downloaded the tunes. I haven't burnt them yet. I've obviously keyed them. I haven't burnt them yet. I'm just going to go through because some tunes are going to have to drop out to put onto the MP3 CD, and then that'll be the set I play tomorrow. But the order I play them in, and or me actually playing those tunes, no, I physically have not played those tunes yet. But I've set together, haven't I? Basically, I've got the music ready to play.
Yeah.
I've got more tracks than what I've done, so I've put a set together. I've just not played it or gone through it yet. That's a difference. But yeah, it basically takes all day to do it. It takes several hours to do it. You got a source of music, go through it, go, yeah, okay, that's all right, and then you got to go, I key it, and then I basically go through, and I've got a limited number I can put on a CD, and then I've got to take out the shorter tunes because that's the way I prefer to do it rather than mixing quick unless I'm doing EDM. Then that takes 3 times longer than the set of 2 hours. Just taking about 6 hours.
I mean, I haven't actually put a set together this week. Last week I did. It took me 4 hours to do it. Yeah. I already had the tunes downloaded, so it weren't like I had to sort of download them. I didn't have to do that. Everything was there. I downloaded them earlier.
3.
No, I put a proper set together. I actually spent the time listening to every track, the intro, the middle, and the outro, and actually spent the time doing it. And it turned out all right. But yeah, I don't normally do that. I normally play off the cuff.
You even said it. You helped yourself. You said that you helped yourself in terms of giving you a small BPM difference between the fastest and the slowest, didn't you?
Yeah. So what I do now, I tend to go between the slowest I will download will probably be 122, but it has to be a really good tune for that, and I'll go up to 128. So when I put my set together, you try and build it, don't you? You build it, you build it, you build it, you build it.
Have you noticed that there's a lot of tunes now? The tunes back in the day, we're talking about electro, which Envy and I used to do a whole heap of doing. It was like 128, 130. It was more 130 probably than 128. So most of your tunes were pitched up to 130, or in your case, even more. There's a 2 BPM difference. Now there's a deeper vibe to everything. Everything's come down. Back in the day, house was
126.
Yeah, a house was in 118, 120 in a day, and then obviously it's gone up, and then the average now 120 was 128. That's the sweet spot, they reckon. But now everything's gone that little bit deeper in vibe. I'll use a 135. I know it is 137, 140. Faster the better with you. Yeah, in out, job done. Yeah, but the rest of us like to do it at the right speed.
No, but when you play music faster, I mean, I know you're all going to agree. You get more. It sounds better, and you get more energy.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, okay, a lot of that you did on vinyl, so that's pitched right up, isn't it? It's all pitched up. As where now you've got master tempo, so you've still got the original key still there as well. It's just played a little bit. But even now, you're playing slower. I said that the tracks are playing slower. What do you play the 128s, 122s at? 128, 130?
If I'm playing 128 tunes, I tend to play them at 128. I don't really go above. I mean, generally, as a rule now, I play at around 127. Everything around 127.
Well, I take the mickey out of uplifting non-genre house, but remember we talked about that the other week, and well, it was a couple of weeks ago because it was when we did the DJ Pool podcast, which will have gone out last week from when we're recording this one, or this week. Sorry. That's where I'm trying to get the uplifting element to it. Is that the tracks at 122, 123, 24? I'll play it up to 128 because obviously I've got a reasonable master tempo. Unless I'm going to later at night and I want to have a different vibe, just a little bit more chilled, and I'll come down.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's what you didn't like the other week. I remember you saying that one you were saying those tunes were cool, but I want a bit more up tempo. I went and was like, well, that's my set.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be just a little bit more down.
But you're very diverse like that. You will 1 week you'll play a 130 set. The next week you'll play a 122 set. You're very diverse like
tunes. That. Well, I've probably gone a little bit narrower now. Probably about 124, 128, maybe 126, depending where.
Yeah, what when you played that electro set, the electro set was what, 126, 127?
128.
Yeah, so I'm only one beat off. Do you know what I mean? That ain't that bad, is it? So yeah, that was a more uplifting set. Which I thoroughly enjoyed.
If I play all that set, some of those are actually pitched up. But I'm saying back in the day, all the tunes are 128, 130, and some of the electro tracks, even though they're dirty, kind of hard electro, they were down 124s, 125s. Everything now it's just gone that little bit slower again. You have to give it a little bit more. I call it a deeper vibe, but it changes the atmosphere of your set if you play them at the original tempo.
To be honest, like since I've gone digital or started using the digital side of things, I'm averagely playing 128, 130 on most things at the moment.
But you were playing like 150 before.
Yeah, but no, when I was on vinyl, like if I was going to do a bit of a marathon set, I would start at say 124, 122. A lot lower, but then the genre is widespread. I would start off with something low, build it up, and it would go through different types of genres. Like
no way.
I always like see with when I get to around about hour and a half, 2 hours in, I'm starting to like really warm up and start to almost peak. Within about 2.5 hours of a set, I will peak. By 4 hours in, I'm done. So I rise and lower. But since I've done digital, I've kept it all at 130 or 128 in around. And there's no real rise and fall. But I will start putting some more. I'm going to start putting some sets together properly. For your builds, like you start your lower and then your builds, your peak, and then you just drop off.
Well, I'd say if you were doing a simple 2 hour set, okay. Some people that can be quite long. Some people can be quite short. Envy and I were doing 3 hour sets for several weeks in the summer. 2 hours then does feel quite short in comparison.
Yeah,
mobile gigs or gigs when you're out, if you're DJing all night, you're talking 3-4 hours easily doing sets, and you might have time to build it, especially if you're in a club and you've got a dance floor. You might start. You do your own. You do your own warm up. So that would be the way you would play if you're doing a 4 hour set, as in a club. But for streaming, for radio, 2 hours, you kind of need to get to the good stuff and do your peak stuff, if that's the set you're doing, or
within
just
the first
keep
hour.
It peak stuff, or just keep it. Yeah, you need it. There's not a lot. The journey time, you can go off on a journey with the types of music and the speed of the music, but your journey time is basically, well, you've got a shorter duration to do it in. You haven't got 4 hours of a club night to do it, or what have you. So you just basically, well, these are the best bits. These are the highlights. This is the the trailer kind of thing.
Yeah, but you got to
That's
remember,
right,
Wongi does 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hour sets, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
I've always been used to doing I started off doing like 3 hour sets, you know. I started off doing like 2 3 hour sets. I am a marathon runner. I like to.
shut up! I've never seen you run in my life.
I'm a marathon player. I've eaten plenty of marathons. Don't worry. Or Snickers as they are now.
I mean, on the plus
branded
side,
chocolate are available.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Marathon or Snickers, but on the odd occasion we do get sponsored by a good old Bounty. Moving on. Yeah, it's all right doing 6, 4, 5, 10 hour sets, whatever it is, but when you come to having to do a 2 hour set, it can be, because you're so used to building, to cram everything into 2 hours, it can be a bit daunting.
It can be quite daunting, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, I'm used to like just playing things. Yeah, and it is a gradual upscale to your peak, and then I've got me like come downs on the other side. But to put that into 2 hours for me is very daunting. I've to make 2 hours worth of music, I will have to do probably 4 hours worth of like behind the scenes research and into my set in order to do that in 2 hours.
Yeah, but the best way I found to do it 2 hours is go, right, I'm going to play deep house. And this is nowadays, not in the old days. Yeah, I'm going to play deep house. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to play everything at 125. Simple as that.
Yep, that's what I do.
When I do my sets for 2 hours, when I do my sets for 2 hours, that's what I do. When we're doing 3 hours, I'd start off a little bit, sort of like, you know, and then we'll go up. When I was doing 3 hour sets, because you've got that extra hour to build yourself up to where you want to be. Yeah. When you're doing 2 hours, and especially if you're coming on after someone else who's played the same sort of music as you have. So last week, I done electro. T done electro straight after. His was a little bit more dirty than mine, so it was building.
Yeah.
So I've built him up for him to take over with the heavier stuff.
Yeah.
But if it was the other way around, and I've put my set together to be sort of nice and sort of good quality stuff, but T went on before me, then you're kind of going from here and you're dropping down. Sorry, you're dropping down like that, aren't you?
Yeah.
In tempo.
But that all depends on like which day of the week it is and what time of night it is.
No, I don't think it does.
But sometimes that's not going to matter. Yeah, because if it's just like during the week, it's just like everyone's like preset shows, like not preset. Everyone's like pre-programmed shows. You know, like they're booked for it. They're expecting that type of music out of that type of DJ. So the drop and rise doesn't matter. Over weekends makes all the difference.
I mean, but I don't play the same music every week.
No. But
neither does T.
It's like sometimes when I play, I'll ask the person who's either on before or after me what they're playing, because I'll try and bring it to near what they're going to be doing. Yeah,
but then do you want to be like everyone else?
But no, that's not the point of being like everyone else. The point being is it's like I'm accommodating the person after, right? Because I've already done my thing. Yeah. So
you got.
Let's say I'm doing electro, and then the next person's doing that uplifting house. So I can build and drop my set, but I can leave like my last tune on a half lively one for the next DJ, because he's going to start doing uplifting house, so you can start off mellow-ish and build.
Well, the way you can go, you can either dovetail in and out of somebody else's set, or you can just have a complete and utter fresh break and do your own. Put it this way, if you were a headline act, would you then detail your set to what has been played before? Put it this way, I know who does that. Actually, will do that, but they'll have their set in mind and they'll have the selected tunes that they will play. But what they will do, they turn up early to a gig to listen to what's been played before the DJ before them. So one, they're not playing the same tunes, and secondly, he can take it from the vibe that's been given and bring it into where he wants to take it. So he knows where he's going to take it. It's just where he starts from
it's where he's
and what tracks that have already been played. Do you know who does that?
And let me
Any
guess.
idea who does that?
Fatboy Slim.
Nope. Any other guesses?
Tiesto.
He's one of the biggest. Yeah. Yes.
No, Mr. Carl Cox.
No, Tiesto.
It's Tiesto. It's Tiesto.
Tiesto?
Yes, Tiesto. Do you know who Tiesto is? It is Tiesto.
Not Tiesto.
No, wait.
Yes.
Did you say Tiesto?
No, it's Tiesto.
No, wait.
Tesco?
Did you say
Wait.
Tiesto was at Tesco's? No way.
Was that Tiesco's?
Tiesco's.
I'm sure there's I'm sure there's other DJs out there that will do that. That is a kind of compromise. Some DJs will just go and say, "This is my set," and you'll beat match. It might not even be in key, or they'll just take their set and they'll do their set irrespective. Others, like Mongi says, will work in. You have an idea where you want to go, and then you've got to kind of take it from here to get it to there. And if you've got 4 hours, it doesn't matter where you start from. Absolutely, it doesn't matter where you start from, because you've got long enough to get it to where you want to be. It might not be at the time you want it to be, because you might have to change things around a bit, but you're still going to be getting to where you want to be. I tell
you what, the hardest thing, I played out at a night in Romford quite a few years ago now. And the DJ on before me, it was a garage stroke house night. And the DJ before me was playing garage. And he finished on a really heavy bassline track. And I hadn't prepared for that, because I was told by the promoter it was two-step garage and house.
Yeah.
So I've rocked up. You going back, like, you rock up with a box of records back then, or bag, whatever you want to, and I wasn't prepared for that, because that ain't what it was supposed to be.
No.
So I had to send someone home all the way back to Loughton, to pick up my other box of records, so I could carry on that vibe. Because otherwise, we'd have gone from here all the way down to here.
It's like falling off a cliff.
I would have lost the crowd.
Yeah.
I'd send someone home to get another box of vinyl, because I wouldn't have been able to cope with the drop in tempo for everybody.
Yeah.
And I would have lost the crowd. Nowadays, when you rock up, you can just take a hard drive with you, or a USB, and put 5,000 tracks on it.
Yeah.
You don't have a problem. That is, one of the luxuries now. It doesn't matter how another DJ finishes. 99% of the time, you're going to be ready to go, aren't you?
That's the advantage of the digital world. You see?
Yeah. So
technology.
Really, it doesn't matter what a DJ.
Either of you mix? Have you taken over from another DJ in a live setting? Would you? And if they're playing a reasonable tune that you could mix into if you wish it to do so, do you basically start from the tippity top of your record or your tune? Do you go?
You always mix into the tune that they've left you with. Always.
You always find something which is like very similar.
Now it might not.
It might not be the same genre.
Sorry,
but it will beat match. And it won't sound too much of a difference, That's what you do. You try and match it.
I'm playing devil's advocate here as well, because how do they know? Okay, somebody's on the dance floor. How do they know that after half an hour they may look up and go, "Oh, different guy on the decks"? How do they know? How do you make your impact? I like to make an impact when I
your style of mixing will tell most people.
But you say that, but without being disrespectful to anyone who goes out clubbing or raving or whatever you want to put it, most people who go out clubbing who don't know about DJing couldn't tell if you had 20 different DJs on all night, or if you had two.
One. Yeah.
They would not know the difference. Number one, because they're going to be off their face. They're going to drunk huge amounts of alcohol. You could drop a clanger. No one would notice.
Yeah.
No, you could be pretty rough. and people would just go with it.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. So even, I mean, the way I've done things if I was going from a 4/4 garage beat to a 2-step beat, I'd be a very quick mix. So I'd beat match it, let it play, bring it in for 32 beats, and then the drop would come, and then it's gone.
Well, all I'm saying is you don't have to actually mix it in. You know, obviously with CDJs, or even they emulate obviously old school turntables in terms of obviously the speed up that they start and stop. So there's nothing stopping you basically. I mean, for example, to start off your set, there's nothing stopping you starting off, even at a drop. But obviously, you start the one track down, and then people then look up, then see you dropping it. You've got the crowd's attention. It's only a split second. Yeah.
I've personally never done that.
No, I'm saying
to me, that's risky.
And
that's risky.
Yeah, it is a mix. Yeah, I'm saying risky. You need a pair of kahunas to do that. But if you got the confidence to do it in your ability, and you've got to practice it. By God, you've got to practice it, and you know you. But again, depends what tune they're playing. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that how would you, as an individual, distinguish that it's you? If you there's 3 or 4, okay, we've had nights on before today, haven't we? We put a night on down London. You go down there, and there's several DJs, and the type of music you play will distinguish that it's just you that's playing, because obviously those back in the day when we had another radio station, they know the type of tracks, and they would request the track that basically Envy gave me to play, but that became synonymous with me because I played it a whole lot. It's like,
I found it.
Yeah. And there's that, and there was one other track which is a bit risque, that Envy also likes. We won't disclose yeah, exactly. Those 2 tracks I played.
Just before we move on, sorry, have you actually found it? Because I don't have it no more.
I have it, but I don't know whether it's playable. It's on one of these. Like I've got to go through.
Well, can you do that now then?
Out there, brothers. Right in the middle of the podcast. Yeah. I'll just take this into the studio. I'm not in the studio tonight, in the boiler room. But yeah, but that was different because people knew you. So if you go into an environment that you don't know, I'll give you an example. When I'm doing a wedding or in a bar, I will actually play stuff that people will not expect. I'll play mashups that people go, and I've seen it in the bar, and even some of the staff. It was just a bar that had to play pop music. So I'm going to play pop remix or a houseier or a dancier kind of vibe rather than just pop tunes.
Yeah.
And I played a Joan Jett and the Blackhearts mixed with Black Eyed Peas. Yeah. Everyone think it's going to be put on Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and I saw the guy behind the bar, which was in the 50s, go yes until the drop came in, and he was like, "That is it." And I was like, then I'm going like, I think I've made an impact here, good or bad. I've made an impact. Yeah. Or the crowd, or the dance floor look up at you, and go, "What are you on about?" All right, yes, I get it now. We're having a good time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
so he went the other way. He was like the old school sample, and he's going, "Hey, that's how you put a great song." He's like, "No, it isn't." And then the other guy going, "What? You're playing here? You're playing here?" And it's like, "All right, it's a good too." Yeah. I've done another thing as well. I've done it on specifically, and when I've played multi-genre stuff, I have played tracks that I know are risky, absolutely, totally risky, and even the bar staff and the manager have looked up at me and start shaking their heads. Yeah, and they were like, "What are you playing? Literally, what are you playing?" Yeah. But within 15 seconds, when the dance floor went mad, they were happy. Yeah, because I was that in tune with the crowd. I think if you like that, you might like this. If you like this, you're definitely going to like that. And it was the track was called Chop Suey. It's a real heavy rock tune, yeah, and it's just a load of noise at the start, and you're going. But the thing is that people on the dance floor didn't understand what was going on because they don't necessarily listen to the intro. But as soon as the actual melody dropped and the vocals came in, they knew exactly what it was, and they went absolutely wild for it. I mean, overboard wild, and I was like, oh, yes, that's me in the corner. Like, really cool, but thinking like, but it was a risk. What I'm saying is sometimes you need to take a risk, don't you, to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, there's no point being like everyone else, is there?
But such is life, though, isn't it? If you don't take the leap of faith, you're going to get nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's in the tunes you play, the order you play them, how you play them, how you present yourself. Perfect example. This will fit absolutely spot on. Envy, your green screen. Why are you doing it? To stand out from everyone else.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to be like you two.
Unique.
I mean, the whole thing with the green screen. I'm just going to go back to that a bit. Is the reason I got it? I mean, like I said, we've been speaking about it for a while, haven't we? But I wanted to be different for Halloween.
We wanted to take it to the next level, didn't we?
Yeah, I wanted to be different for Halloween. And Halloween is, I don't want to be like every other DJ who's going to be DJing on Halloween night, because it is a Saturday. I don't want to be like everyone else. I want to be a little bit different. I want people to go, oh, do you remember Envy? Because he had skulls and stuff up in his background. He didn't just have a plain wall. He didn't have a clock in the background with a dodgy fan.
The fan's gone now, ain't there?
The whole point of having a green screen is to stand out. You don't want people's curtains, people's wardrobes. You don't want to be like some of the DJs we've seen on Facebook. I'm not having a pop at them at all. But I personally want to be more professional. T's got his studio. Wongy's got his clock and his fan. I've got my green screen.
I've got the clock now.
Oh, just a clock.
I've got my denim poster.
Well, there will.
You want to be different.
There will be enough of us. Hopefully, 3 of us soon enough will be able to do green screens. So I believe it takes it to the next level. I like the graphics, the visual graphics, the moving graphics. Yeah.
Welcome to the Dance Party 247 podcast. You got my
The more times you do it, the more times I'm going to get it wrong. I used to be able to do this. Thank you for watching Dance Party podcast. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well, so you don't miss any new videos when they go up live. If you like the video, give us a massive thumbs up. Also, if you are listening to us on Mixcloud, give us a follow, and we'll see you next week. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.